Welcome to CSL Dallas, a center for spiritual living, where we are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, and transforming lives. We're so grateful that you're here with us. If this is your first time, you're in for a treat. We've got a guest speaker, Esther Nicholson, and she is a powerhouse of a person. And if this is certainly not your first time, we are grateful that you're here with us in community. So, speaking of Esther Nicholson, she is a renowned world speaker. She is very big in the recovery circle. She always has something unique and transformative to bring to our community. That's why we keep bringing her back. So she is our guest speaker today. She's also our guest musician. And this afternoon at 1 p.m. Central, if you have not signed up for her interactive live workshop online, this is your chance to do it. In fact, go to CSLDallas.org right now and look for that event and make sure you register, 1 p.m. Central. It is basically the healing code of forgiveness, freedom from racial trauma. And I promise you, every single person alive has dealt with racial trauma in some shape, form, or fashion, or if there's any kind of abuse trauma in your past, she is coming at it from a spiritual perspective, and she will work with all of us to ensure that we release this trauma once and for all.
Yay, and I bet Ryan has already put the link to that event in the chat, both on Facebook and in the Zoom room. So we want to let you know that we have fabulous holiday things coming up. The Blue Holiday is December 11th. The next thing we have after that is we are having our Come Home to Christmas from our house to yours online Zoom Christmas celebration. This is for the whole family. We are having the kids read a 'Twas Night Before Christmas from the CSL Dallas point of view. The choir has some amazing music videos for us. We have scavenger hunts and breakouts. And of course, we have our sacred candle lighting ceremony. It's going to be very, very, very different. And we hope very special. So we hope that you'll sit in your living room with your favorite holiday beverage, your holiday snacks, grab your friends, grab your family, grab your furry companions, and we'll celebrate together 4:30 to 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Come home to love from our house to yours.
Yes, and on New Year's Day, we are having our Burning Bowl powerful extravaganza ritual right out in our parking lot. So this is an in-person event only. So make sure that you make plans to be with us at the Burning Bowl on January 1st, New Year's Day at noon.
Right. And you don't have to register for that, but and you don't have to register for either one. You just show up. Show up on Zoom for Christmas Eve. Show up here on January 1st. And yeah, we love providing these events for you. We're being as creative as we know how throughout the holidays and through this season until we can be back together again. And your donations really make a huge difference. It makes it possible for us to keep creating and inventing new events, making sure we have all the technology and support to make it happen, making sure that we're able to reach you with our spiritual inspiration and be there for you when you need us. So please give and give generously throughout the holiday season. You can go to CSLDallas.org and click the donate button. You can click the donate now on Facebook as you are watching this, or you can text GIVE. The phone number is on your screen. Please do continue to support us generously. We love you. We are so very grateful.
There's a new world on the horizon, made of light, not of stone, calling out We are one heart, one soul, one dream we share together. We are all a part. Let me hear you say, we are one heart. We're looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all a part. We are all a part. We are all a part of a one heart. Yes, we are. We are one heart, one mind, one soul. Yeah. Said we're doing this thing together. Said we're dreaming the same dream. Yes, we are. One heart, one mind, one soul. One heart, one mind, one soul. We are one heart, one mind. See, during this time, this is what we gotta do. Love a little better, hug a little closer, dig a little deeper. We are one heart, one mind. We are one heart, one mind, one soul. We are one heart, one mind, one soul. We are one heart. Yes, we are. We are. Yeah. Love a little deeper. Hug a little closer. Say we are all a part. Ooh, we are all a part. We are all a part of one heart. Greetings, my friends. I'm so honored to be here with you. The title of my talk today is Returning Home to the Authentic Self. And I'd like to speak to you about how we do that, how we return home to the authentic self by way of recovery. Now, I'm not talking about recovery from the perspective of recovering from anything, recovering from some emotional, physical, or financial experience you might be having right now. I'm not talking about recovering from the economic crisis or the pandemic crisis that we are experiencing right now. I want to talk to you about recovery, the recovery of that essential aspect of you that is spoken about in Genesis 1st chapter, 31st verse, where it states that God, the divine presence, the infinite, looked at everything it had made and created and said, it is good and very good. It didn't look at the ocean and say, oh my, the ocean is behaving badly. I think I will name it unworthy. It didn't say, oh, the sun, the moons, the stars, the galaxies, they're behaving imperfectly today. So I think I will shame them and I will name them undeserving. It didn't say, when it looked around at the human beings that it had manifested and demonstrated out of its own nature, it didn't look at any one of us and say, oh, bad girl, bad boy, I think I'm going to name you not good enough. It didn't say that. Everything that came out of its own beingness, it said, it is good and very good. Your authentic nature is good and very good. So wherever you are right now, I just want you to just point to yourself, take a breath, inhaling deeply and exhale. And I want you to say to yourself, I'm good and very good. I want to talk to you today about recovering that. We're going to talk about rediscovering your essential nature of worthiness and reawakening to your wholeness, your amazingness, your confidence, your empowerment, your truth. And I know that there was a time a little while back, or maybe a long while back, when I thought that my confidence, my empowerment, my clarity, my truth was based on the kind of clothes I had on, or how much money I had, or where I lived, or how toned I was, right? And what I soon discovered was that as long as I was walking around with that erroneous false belief of shame, of unworthiness, of feeling not good enough, that I could make all the money in the world, I couldn't suck it up, tone it up, color it up, no matter how hard I tried, because those illusions, which are operating on a subconscious level, were making decisions in my life without my conscious permission. And I was doing all kinds of things. It's like, why am I doing these things? Why am I making decisions that are not for my highest and my best good? Well, the illusion of unworthiness doesn't allow you to do that. Those illusions that I'm talking about that are disconnected from your good and very good, they are insidious. And in the world of recovery, insidious means cunning, baffling, and powerful. In the dictionary, it says subtle, behind the veil, underneath. It just comes out of nowhere. And so I want to share with you how these illusions might be showing up in your life so that you become aware of the pattern, of the addiction, which I'm going to talk about in a little while. Unworthiness, feeling not good enough, feeling shame, it causes you to say no when you mean yes. It causes you to say yes when you really mean no. It causes you to not have healthy boundaries or not having any boundaries at all. It makes you feel small and scared all the time. And it forces you, they force you to accept something in your life that you know in your gut, this isn't for you. This isn't what you want. But unworthiness, shame, and feelings of not being good enough will lie to you and tell you, but this is all I can have. So I'd better grab this while I can, because I really can't have what I want. And I remember a while ago in my life, I was in negotiations with a potential client. Not a cloud on the horizon. I was feeling really, really, really good. And I'm on the phone with this client in negotiations. And all of a sudden, my energy level, my vibratory frequency went from like here to like whoom to like here. And I'm like, whoa. And I touched myself on my belly because that's where my little girl is. That's where she talks to me. It's in my belly and in my solar plexus. So I just want you to put your hands right now on your tummy, on your solar plexus, where you feel that something's not right, where you're feeling fear and anxiety. And I looked down at her and I said, sweetheart, Boo, I call myself Boo. What's the matter? What's going on here? And I felt her within me, I felt her say, I'm scared. I'm afraid to ask for what I really want. And if I ask for what I really want, this opportunity is going to go away. And in that moment, I hit a bottom with these emotional addictions running my life. Just like 35 years ago, I hit a bottom with crack cocaine. I hit a bottom again, emotionally, living a lie, living in a vibration of I'm not good and very good. I'm not good enough. I'm not deserving to ask for what I want and actually receive it. And so I just touched that part of myself and I hugged myself and I said, no more. I will never make a decision from this place ever again. So I just want you to just put your hands wherever you feel that pain. And I just want you to make a commitment right now. I want you to hit your bottom with it right now and say, no more. No more. I will not make decisions from this place. This is not the truth of me. And so I made that decision to not live my life based on those lives anymore. But here's the kicker. I didn't know how not to either. I'd been living that way for so long, even though I'd made that decision not to do that anymore. I knew that I didn't know how not to make decisions from that place. And so I had to go within. I had to go within my inner sanctuary, and I had to practice the tools and the principles of soul recovery, which I want to teach you about. And I stayed inward, and I did my soul recovery work, which I'm going to explain to you a little bit later. And when I came out of my inner closet, my inner sanctuary, I'd made another decision, that I was going to leave the deal on the table. Sometimes, beloved, you got to leave the deal on the table. Because here's what I knew. I knew that if I was willing to walk away with nothing, walk away with seemingly nothing, in the name of my self-value, in the name of truth, in the name of love, in the name of self-integrity, that the infinite, inexhaustible universe was going to fill that void with the something that was beyond my imagination, because I'd seen it work over and over and over again. When you walk away with nothing, when you release and let it go, because it's like, that decision is not good enough for me. It's not that what I want I'm not worthy of or I'm not good enough for, but that place where I used to make decisions from, that place is not good enough for me. So I'm walking away with nothing, and I'm going to behold and I'm going to watch what God does in, as, and through me. And it has never disappointed me. And so that's why this talk I'm so passionate about, as you can see. Because so many people come to me for help with emotional issues, relationship issues, financial issues, health issues, addiction issues. And when we sit one-on-one together and unpack what's going on subconsciously, bringing to the conscious awareness what's been going on, what's been running their lives on an unconscious level, we invariably find the only problem is they have forgotten that they're good and very good. They have forgotten home, their authentic self. And so, one of the most powerful programs that has been gifted through me that I know of to heal and address these deep core issues of false identity is based in the 12 steps of recovery, bridging the gap with the 12 steps of recovery, and universal spiritual principles and other really powerful healing modalities. And I put all of these healing modalities together, and I call it soul recovery. Now, soul recovery doesn't just heal and address those typical addictions that we're so familiar with, like drugs, alcohol, sex, food, whatever the symptom may be. It also gets deep down inside of your beingness, and it heals and it addresses your addiction to unworthiness, to feelings of not being good enough, to shame, to procrastination by way of distraction, by way of social media, the news. And let's not forget about your addiction to Netflix. I know about that addiction to Netflix. When you just want to zone out, when you just want to go into avoidance because it's too painful to not be the truth of who you are. And you click on Netflix, you say you're just going to watch a movie. But what do? You click on a series. And we know that most series have 13 to 18 episodes. So you promise you're just going to watch one. And the next thing you know, you've watched all 13 or 18 in one night. And you come out of that distraction zoned out, numbed out, dumbed out with a promise to never do that again. And the next thing you know, you do it again. Because you're afraid. You're afraid to come home to who you really are, because on some level you think that's too good to be true. And I'm here to tell you that's not too good to be true. That is the truth. That's who you really are, beloved. You are amazing. I had to find a way in my 35 years of recovery. I had to find a way to heal my little girl. I was so tired of being anxious and second-guessing myself and doubting myself and being stuck. I was exhausted. It was making me feel hopeless. And so I bridged the gap between these teachings. And how I really got inspired to bridge the gap in these teachings was my last day of getting high 35 years ago found me sitting in the back of a taxi, demanding that he take me to the crack house so that I could get some more drugs. And instead of doing as I had demanded, he turned to face me in the back seat and he said, "Young lady, please don't kill yourself today." That wasn't the miracle, because I'd heard that a million times. The miracle in that moment was that everything just came together. The cosmic tumblers just fell into place. And in that second of looking into his eyes, the fog of my false identity lifted. The veil of illusion parted, and I caught it. I caught my real self, light as a feather, joyful, free from fear, confident, empowered. Oh my God, it was, and I knew in that instant, it felt like it lasted like a couple of minutes, but it was probably really just an instant. I knew in that instant that this was the real me, and I had never left. I just had a dream that I did, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I'd never left the safety of my home at all. You have not left the safety of your home, the truth of your identity, your oneness with God, your oneness with the divine. You have not left. You're just having a dream. And so the soul recovery process helps to dehypnotize you from that trance of false identity and separation. That was the beginning of my very long and sometimes painful journey to recovery. because I found that even after 10 years of being clean and sober and having some wonderful spiritual experiences, that the addiction to unworthiness and not enoughness and shame was still operating at a very deep level in my subconscious mind. So when I got hired to be a background vocalist for Rod Stewart and Bette Midler, what should have been the highlight of my life, when I got chosen 20 out of maybe 4,000 people to go to South Africa to anchor the peace prior to the election of Nelson Mandela, should have been the highlight of my life. But you know what it was? It was the most terrifying, anxiety-filled time of my life, because every single day I was addicted to the belief that they're going to call me in the office and say, Esther, hey, we just realized something. You're not good enough. We're sending you home. Instead of enjoying this amazing time in my life, that's where I was. How many times have you gotten your dream, received your dream job, your dream relationship, your dream fill in the blank, and you couldn't enjoy it, you couldn't be present for it, you couldn't be with the gift that it really was, because of these emotional addictions. So let's get clear about what addiction is. Addiction is a hardwired belief in your subconscious mind, perception, traumatic memories that cause you to act out in various ways. And even though there's the truth of you, your authentic self is like saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to change. I want to grow. The 60% of your subconscious mind is so much more powerful than your conscious mind, the one that you're walking around with every day, that no matter how badly you don't want to do it, what happens? You do it anyway. It's not your fault, beloved. It's called addiction. And so for those of you watching this today, it's like, oh, God, she's talking about the 12 steps and all of that. You know, God, wish my sister watched this, and my husband and all of that. I'm going to say to you, beloved, no, this talk is for you. I want you to look at where you're doing that in your own life. So how do we heal this? How do we get down to the nitty-gritty? It's like, okay, Esther, great information. What do I do about it? Well, the first step in soul recovery is admitting defeat, is admitting personal powerlessness. Jesus the Christ admitted personal powerlessness when he said, of myself, I can do nothing. So the part of you that's in the problem, the part of you that's in the addiction is not the part of you that's going to heal you. The vibratory energy that's creating this problem is not the vibratory energy that's going to heal it. Perfect statement by Einstein. And I know I'm not quoting that exactly as it is, but basically, he says, you cannot heal the problem from the level of the problem. We've got to rise higher. So admitting personal powerlessness. So I just want you to think of something right now that you are just struggling with, and you've been trying to figure it out, and you've been trying to do it. And I just want you to just feel yourself just hold on so tight, so tight, so tight. Inhale deeply. And say, I'm powerless. I can't fix it. I can't figure it out. I can't do it. Yay! Yay! The onus is no longer on you to try to figure out something that level of consciousness isn't going to figure out ever. It's never going to work. So the first step of recovery is getting out of your own way and releasing control. The second step of recovery says we admit that the second step of recovery says we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Now, here's how soul recovery approaches this. First of all, the power greater than yourself is your real self. It's the truth of you. It is within you. And the second thing is, you can't be restored to something that was never the truth about you in the first place. You are returning. You are reawakening. You are rediscovering. You are being restored back to who you are. Nothing's being given to you. Who you really are is revealed. And then third step, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood God. And I like to say to that, Soul Recovery's approach to that is, if the God of your understanding isn't working for you, it's time to get a new God, or it's time to get a new understanding. And then we go through the rest of the steps of forgiveness and compassionate accountability and being of service and recreating that which you are, recreating your life. So those are just briefly going over some of the work, and of course we use so many other healing modalities along with the steps that just really breaks you wide open and gets you back home to your authentic self. That's where you deserve to be. You deserve to be the real you. You deserve that joy. You deserve abundance. You deserve to feel empowered and confident. You deserve to know that you're safe. Can I get an amen to just feeling safe in your body? Feeling safe. Oh my God, that is the biggest freedom that I know of. So, beloveds, there are a few different ways that I would like to invite you to get deeper into this work, to perhaps work with me personally, one-on-one. If you want to become a part of the Soul Recovery tribe so that you can get content and the YouTube channels and the curriculum and private one-on-one sessions with me, I'm going to give you 3 calls to action. The first call is, I want you to just go sign up for my email list at esthermail.com. And in doing that, you're going to receive free 21 days of free meditation downloads. And you can opt out of that. Some people don't want me in their email box every single day, even though it's a meditation. You can opt out of that, absolutely. The second is my book, Soul Recovery, 12 Keys to Healing Dependence. Dependence on what? Dependence on your traumatic experience, dependence on your shame, dependence on the ways that you've been walking in this time. You can go to Amazon.com and pick up your copy of Soul Recovery. I wish I was in person with you right now so I could give you a hug and give you an autographed copy. But at this time, of course, in our world, that's not possible right now. And then if you want to talk to me personally, I invite you to email me at esther@esthernicholson.com. That's Esther without an H. So that's ESTER at Esther Nicholson, NICHOLSON.com. When you go to sign up for my mailing list, it's Esther without an H, mail.com. Because here's what I want to do. Here's what is my destiny to do. To first of all, keep coming home within my own beingness. Letting go of any false identity that I've been holding on to. And then to get you home to your authentic self so that you can remember your empowerment, your confidence, your abundance, your freedom, and your safety. This is who you are. Good and very good. In the beginning, good and very good, and nothing can ever take that away from you. But you can believe that you don't have it, and then you start experiencing it. Come home. There's absolutely no place like it. Peace and blessings. I once heard a powerful story about a man who stood in his truth with such conviction in who he was, he would not be moved. Someone stepped out of the crowd and said, "Are you Martin Luther King?" He said, "Yes, I am." And the well-dressed man spit on him. King took out his handkerchief and wiped the hate from his suit. He gave it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up, do what I can do. I see your heart, I know your pain. I've been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I am clear who is standing here. I believe this belongs to you." Are you ready to give up those stories that have been holding you in bondage? Yes? Here we go. You see, I once had a powerful story I used to carry around. I thought it was you all this time who held my spirit down. Now I know the truth of who I came here to be. You are my angel in disguise, not my enemy. So I thank you for the part you played in this dance we had to do. I give you back the love that's real. I believe this belongs to you. Come on. I will lift you up. I'll do what I can do. I see your heart. I've even felt your pain. I've been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I am clear who is standing here. I believe this belongs to you. Come on and sing with me. I will lift you up. I'll do what I can do. I see your heart. I felt your pain. I've been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I am clear who is standing here. I believe this belongs to you. I give you back the love that's real. I believe this belongs to you.
Love can move the world as the moon in the sky. to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a time that begins